YouTube, how the devil are we? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a full day of eating, and since the last video we've hit an all-time low, and funny enough I'm actually back at my stage weight 3 years ago, but the physique has evolved massively from that point. So today will be a full day of eating. It is another high day because it's certainly needed, and the fat loss is almost done. The job is almost done. So remember what I said about in the last video, where it's not always necessarily about the numbers, it's about bringing the best physique. So it's a case of pulling back. The pushing and pulling effect always works, but pulling back. Today is a high day. I'm going to take you through some training as well. So a couple sessions will be thrown into this video because the strength is holding up nicely, especially for my chest and arm session and my back and delt session. So I will put some training in, but today is mainly going to be about food because I know all of you are secretly foodies, and I'm one of those as well. I like watching YouTube videos where people are just eating food. Quite weird, but it works. So plenty of food today, plenty of training. The routine stays the same, obviously, because it's prep, but even if we weren't in prep, the routine stays the same because we're bodybuilders. As always, out for the morning walk because that is how we start the routine. So getting these steppies done, and then I'll take you through meal one. I am actually accompanied by Sid. Hello. Sid. Hello. With Sid and Lauren's with me today, but bless Lauren. Well,
I don't want to be on camera.
yeah, she's just woken up. You can imagine when a woman's just woke up, just rolled out of bed, what that's like. And to be fair, I've just rolled out of bed because it's still early. It's lovely because the temperature is not as brutal, but the sun's out, and there's just something about these quiet morning walks. But speaking at the camera when you've just rolled out of bed, it can be sometimes quite challenging. So yeah, anyway, I am rambling. I will see you at meal one. So here we go, meal one, an absolute mammoth of a meal one. You would have seen it in the other video, but it's literally the same. 160 grams of oats. I think it's 350 grams total fruit. There is almond butter, 20 grams of almond butter, 10 grams of dark chocolate, 40 grams of protein granola, and 40 grams of whey, 160 grams of oats, and just a bowl of goodness. So I don't need to give you a taste test because you already know what my reaction is, especially from the last video. This is the goated bowl, gourmet, Jordan finest oats. But this is meal one, so we're going to eat this, get this down, have my coffee, and then I'm going to shoot off to the gym. Just like that, meal one straight down the hatch. Gonna let that digest, gonna have my coffee, then we'll shoot to the gym for back and delts, which will be a juicy session. This never touches the sides. Well, obviously when body fat is low, you're eating low, and nice, a bit of oats trying to come out of my mouth. But it is one of those that, if you know, when you are lean, it doesn't matter how much you eat, you're still going to be more hungry. And actually, on these high days, they're great. They serve a purpose, refilling muscle glycogen cells, giving the metabolism a bit of a break, mental refreshment. There's so many positives behind this. It's not a case of you've worked hard, have a refeed. It's a case of need to reinstate muscle glycogen cells, session performance needs to increase, because we're at that point where session performance is holding on for dear life, but we want to hold on to that tissue. So we have to be strategic of when we have these refeeds. It's not a case of, like I say, giving myself a refeed because I've worked hard. No, if anything, I'll just keep digging. So it's quite a bit more of a mental challenge to be like, no, you actually need a refeed, because if you don't know, I actually coach myself. So that's meal one. I'm not going to lick the bowl. I'm hungry, but I'm not that hungry. again? Yeah, absolutely. The amount of times that I've had that from people, you eating again? Yeah, I am. So, meal 2. 150 millilitres of egg whites, 2 eggs, 2 pieces of sourdough, sprinkle of barbecue sauce, aka a gallon of barbecue sauce, and basically half man, half barbecue sauce at this point. And then second coffee of the day, repping Sports Direct, because why not? And I think when you're on prep, you can have an unlimited amount of caffeine. I'm obviously joking, don't train your heart to failure. But I mainly have 2 cups of coffee a day. I don't drink Stim pre-workout anymore, just because it makes me feel horrendous. Apparently my tolerance to pre-workout's not very good. So prior to the gym, I do drink a pump formula from Conte Mega Pump. Use code DEX10, because I'm not sponsored, but Lauren is. So you can go pay her bills. Not quite, but supporting her definitely goes a long way. But this is meal 2, so wrapped up the session, back and delts very good. I will pop a couple of clips into the YouTube video, but this is meal 2. Gonna get this down the hatch. Last time you saw me eat this meal, I did have dates, but the reason why we're not having dates is because one of my other meals that I usually have, which is the beef mince, the potato, the veg, etc., is being taken out for today and replaced with something, because we are trialing. When we say we, myself, because I coach myself, I am trialing something, a new meal later. So you got to stay tuned for that, because it's been 16 weeks or 17 weeks since I've had anything away from my plan. The thing is, this is my plan, but I just have higher quantity on a high day. So I'm still sweating. The UK weather is wham. So most of these clips I'm always sweating. But yeah, later I will be eating something and it'll be a live reaction. Oh, a live reaction? No, it won't, because it'll be in a video. There will be a reaction to something. Anyway, I'm just teasing you at this point. So stay tuned, but we've got a couple more meals until we can have something so beautiful. So for those that are true gamer at heart, 2 games have just been released, and the nostalgia it brings, and I'm so glad that I can play them. All I'm gonna say is 2012 was the peak of, well, I wouldn't say peak of gaming, but a peak for nostalgia for myself. And would you look at that? Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 has now been finally added to the PlayStation 5, which I am so happy about, because honestly, like this, back in the day, this game brought me so much happiness. It was unreal. And the fact that I can now go relive my childhood again is crazy. So this is pretty much what I'm going to be doing most of the day. Work is done. Output's a hell of a lot lower. There's no cardio. So it is literally just a case of eating and bringing back the nostalgia. Back when I was like, I think I might have been 13 or 14 when this come out. I'm now 27, getting on a bit. It's that time to eat again. Meal 3. We've got 100 grams of basmati rice, that is dry weight, 200 chicken, 100 veg. Of course, it's always going to be the barbecue sauce. Mwah. And then meal 4 is literally the same as this, but I'll show you meal 4, because the last time that I'd done a full day of eating high carb edition, I only shown you one of these because I was too hungry and I ate it and I was like, damn, I didn't record it. So yeah, this is meal 3. Meal 4 is the same, but it gets more interesting as we approach the evening with meal 5 and 6. So let's have a little taste test, just because I haven't had rice in like 2 weeks. Funny enough, it tastes like chicken and rice. Let's get this in. So shock, I didn't record meal 4 because the reality is it was the same meal as meal 3. Chicken, rice, veg. But most people want to see the juicy stuff. I know that you want to see exactly what you can see in the thumbnail. So we've just pulled up at the destination. This is going to be exciting. Let me show you what it is. Boom. Five Guys. I have not had Five Guys in months. But bearing in mind, I've been dieting solid for 17 weeks. I am excited for this because it feels like forever since I've had anything away from my plan. Now, obviously, this is going to help with refilling muscle glycogen cells, etc. I'm not even going to bore you with all the science of why I'm doing this. As you can also see, I'm in the car. Lauren's not here. Lauren's at home. Lauren does not get a high day, and it's not fair for me to take it home. So we both agreed. Lauren's fine with food, but also, you know, we're both in the depths of prep, and I don't want to be disrespectful because I can have a Five Guys. Lauren loves a Five Guys. So I said, look, I will go to Five Guys. I'll eat it in the car and then I'll come home. The temptation's not there. It's not being torturous, and it's just being respectful. You know, I don't want to make her prep hard. So Lauren's at home. Lauren hasn't even had a single refeed yet. Bless her. And I do really feel for her because, you know, she is in the depths of prep. She's doing very well and, you know, she looks amazing. That's not to say that I'm not doing very well either because of the consistent high days I'm having. But also remember, I am type 1 diabetic. Things are going to be very different for myself. So yeah, enough talking. Let's have a live reaction of having Five Guys. Right, here we go. I'm going to pop you there because every time I try and pop you anywhere else in this car, you just fall over. So, just gone with a cheeseburger, just a few toppings, barbecue sauce, and it's hot in my car. Shock, I am sweating. Let's go for the first bite. 17 weeks straight of dieting. Dieting's still not over. But this first bite, that is divine. This is going to get messy, but I don't care. Let's just go for it. My God. Of course, iPhone storage decided to cut me off, but honestly, this is divine. Let's have a live taste test of the chippies. Just how I remembered it. I can feel it running through my veins. We are filling up, baby. This is what it's about. I'm not food focused, but this is bloody gorgeous. So I'm gonna devour this and maybe probably be in a food coma after. Oh, we back. Oh, burger and chips devoured. I am in a food coma. I forgot how many chips there are. It will do the trick. It was nice to have that, but Jesus Christ, I'm like, oof. So I'll see you at home a lot later when we've got the final meal, which is a bowl of oats. But if I'm honest, I don't even want to think about food at this present moment in time. But I know that's why majority of you clicked on the video, because you saw Five Guys. Five Guys, who doesn't love a Five Guys? It's just the after effects when you got eyes bigger than your belly. So yeah, I'm in a food coma. You're not getting any oats. The last melon. I've worked up an appetite for this. No, I haven't really. Well, I'm full, but the thing is when you're dieting and you're lean, you're never actually going to be full. So this is meal 6, final meal of the day. 100 grams of oats, 250 grams of total fruit, no fats, just because obviously my fat content was a little bit higher today by having the Five Guys. But this will go down a treat. So that is a wrap with the food, training, all sorts of segments that I've thrown into this YouTube video. And how many weeks out are we now?
Well, my YouTube's kind of like a week behind, so we're around
this
7
one
to 8
actually,
weeks.
yeah, this one will be
So
eight weeks out, but because we're recording this on the Saturday and this will go up next Wednesday, which will probably be, when will it be? Wednesday the 15th. So by that point we're 7.5 weeks out from the first show. So back to digging, but I'm going to enjoy this because I just love oats. I'm basically half man, half oats. No, I'm not. Half oats, quarter barbecue sauce, and the rest is part Jordan, if that even makes sense. But yeah, I'm going to eat this. hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, I can't even speak. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the potential 7 weeks out video. Boom!